Welcome to your relaxation time. Let this wonderful 80s classic soothe you. Happy, happy, ha ha.
Boom! What's up? It's Christoph from Be Mindful here, and today I'm going to talk about a topic that is very dear to my heart and I'm passionate about, and this is the mental diet.
That's some good diet, man. Mental diet.
In other words, what do we have on our plates, our mental plates, and what do we choose to consume on a day-to-day basis? Today we are living in one of the greatest times in history. This is very easy to believe because there's the most opportunities for more people than ever, job-wise, health-wise, etc. War is going down, murders are going down, but despite all these light points and the general positivity of our society, there's definitely some dark spots, some blind spots that we are, maybe missing, that everyone seems to accept, but in my opinion could be pretty destructive for our lives. And let me just tell you a couple of those dark spots, a couple of those blind spots. We are living in a time of constant stimulation. And we are not really used to that because looking on an evolutionary level, we have never been so exposed to constant stimulation. For example, if we look on our phones, there's so much stuff to do there that we can stay hours and hours on our phone only. But it's not only that. Social media's structure is so that the likes and the comments that are given to our content, our pictures, are constantly giving us dopamine spikes. And this is not really a good thing in the long run, because dopamine spikes also occur with a lot of people that have addictions. So that is also why people get addicted to their phone, to social media. Another thing in our society is that the news on the radio and the newspapers and TV is fear-based, and just in general it's negative because there's nothing really interesting about, positive news, about people helping each other. There's something in our mind, in our psychology, that is really drawn to the negative, to the drama. So we are getting bombarded with that as well, just to earn more money, just to earn more viewers for the TV. And all of these things combined, of course there are a little bit more, but all of these things combined, they are resulting in a life for us that is stressful and fear and anxiety inducing. And let me paint a little picture here of our day-to-day lives in Western culture, and maybe in most of the world. Our day starts obviously when we wake up and we get out of bed. Our phone that is charging next to our bed is right there for us to grab. Don't say you don't do it, because you do. You take your phone out of the charger and you put on your 4G, 5G, whatever Gs, and you look at your social media, you take the little updates in. So what happens there? You already get into a reactive mode because you're getting exposed already, almost first thing in the morning, to these things. That is the reactions, the likes, and emails, and everything else. There's so many apps right now, so many notifications we can get, that it sometimes is already so overwhelming and we just woke up. But if we do that, it's not gonna get any better, because that's how the mind works, it's how the brain works. You start with that and you almost get a certain used to feeling to all this stimulus, and you're gonna do it throughout the whole day. And then you go down, you get your breakfast. What do? You turn on the radio probably and you look at your newspaper. Again, I just told you, this is fear-based and mostly negative news. And this actually happens throughout the whole day, because if you go to work or school, you're gonna check your phone and your emails and your social media a lot of the times, and you know that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, I'm not at all, but I am aware of the problem, and awareness is transformative in and of itself. So let's get started on how to solve this problem, okay? How to maybe get more awareness of this and what to do about it.
Welcome to your relaxation time. Let this wonderful 80s classic soothe you. Happy, happy, ha ha.
So the first thing we can do to brainwash ourselves is, first of all, we need to, boom, put some nails in this wall. Boom. Et voila. Okay, so the first thing we can do to really be, in full control of our inputs in our lives is, first of all, to check which actual inputs we get and to eliminate those that don't serve us in any way, and to really be aware of them and never do it again. So let's get it started. I got a little board installed right behind me. Let's do it. Boom. Got a little markers right here. Boom, let's go. A little human being, and that is us, right? Blue is the different inputs that come our way. We have friends and family. Let's say that as well. These are cool. You need to keep this in your life. If they're positive, if they're cool. Otherwise, skip that shit. News. In any way, so this is newspaper, this is actual news, on the TV, radio, etc. Social media. Then, of course, the ones that we control, books, podcasts, the real good stuff, real good information. Okay, and so this is our little system here, right? This is our system, and there's different inputs that come all our way. So I already talked about the fact that it can be really overwhelming sometimes. So sometimes we just need to try to regulate it to one or 2 hours a day. Friends and family, I already talked about you being the average of the 5 people you hang around with most. So choose positive and cool friends, man. Otherwise, you're gonna have to cut some out. Books and podcasts, always more. I want more and more. Personally, I skip the news, but I still make sure that I'm not super naive to what's happening in the world, but I choose to be more aware of it and skip it when needed. Commercials, all gone. So this is it, man. It's our mental diet. Oh shit. And then super important, what can we actually do in a normal day, right? So I will share with you what I do in the morning, my little morning routine, as you will. So the first thing I do is I wake up and I have my bottle of water, 1 liter or more, next to my bed. And I just chug the whole thing. You just, boom, get that water in first thing in the morning, and I already feel a lot better, a lot more awake. What I then do is do a little bit of breathing, just still laying in my bed for 10-15 minutes, and it's also helping me to really wake up and get that energy, that blood flow going. A cool breathing technique is the Wim Hof breathing technique in combination with cold exposure, and I've already talked about this on my Instagram. And if you don't follow me yet, follow this link right here, and I urge you to do that. Boom, right there at the butterfly. Yeah, and you do a few breathing technique rounds. It's a very energetic, a very strong breathing, very deep and fast, and that's how you charge your body, and you actually warm up the body as well. You get charged, and then you can take a cold shower, but ice cold, or an ice bath, And this combination of the two really helps me out to wake up first thing in the morning. So I just keep that phone until lunchtime in that flight mode. Then after the breathing and the actual cold exposure, what I then do is go downstairs. I still hydrate a little bit, drink some more water, and I do a gratitude meditation. And this is really, really powerful, because what it really does is it taps you into all the things that you're grateful for. It really gives you an amazing energy, and it really gets you to the level to tackle the day. For me, a gratitude meditation and gratitude in general is really a great antidote for anxiety or feeling down or negative, because it's already been said by a lot of people, but if you feel grateful, you already fill your body with a certain emotion, a certain energy and frequency, and there's not really that much time and space for negativity and anxiety to get in there simultaneously. So it's one or the other. What do you choose to feel? And I choose, of course, to feel good and grateful. And then for the real brainwashing that I talked about in the title, I use a cool technique that is called incantation. We all know the technique to say, like, I am happy, I am strong, I am powerful. But if you don't mean the words, and if you don't have an emotional pressure or energy after it, then it most likely will not be very helpful for you. But to really embody it with your emotion and with your body, literally, that is how to get into that better state, to get more energy, more focus, and just in general more positivity. Again, it's called incantations, and it goes like this. For example, I am whole, perfect, strong, and powerful. I'm loving, harmonious, and happy. I feel good about myself. I have confidence. You see, and I already get that in my body, and it's really an emotion and energy. So, woo, I feel good right now. Let's go. Let's keep going, all right? Then another thing that is really helpful for me is when I have something important to do that could give me some nervousness or anxiety. For example, you have to do a presentation on the job or at school. You have a job interview that you really want to perform well. What I do then is visualization, and visualization is actually as if the thing that you're gonna have to do is already happening in your mind, and you are living that event already in real time. For the example of the presentation, I'm already visualizing my presentation going super well, feeling good when I'm up front, and so on. But I've already mentioned so much books, reading books, and choosing what you consume on a mental diet. I already said that mental diet is important. You're not gonna feed yourself rubbish if you wanna lose weight or be happy and healthy, right? So don't choose rubbish to read or consume. I switch it up between fiction and non-fiction a lot. The fiction really gives me, more imagination. It really tickles that imagination bone and gives me insight, gives me creativity, and maybe new ideas for videos or other things. And then the non-fiction really grounds me again into reality, to situations and events that could happen in my life. I read a lot of biographies, autobiographies or autobiographies, famous and important people that really went about their challenges in awesome ways that I haven't even thought about, and that just exposes myself to these new ideas and new concepts. So to wrap things up here, just to reiterate everything, yes, it is possible to brainwash ourselves for a more energetic, a more positive life, and this is by starting to be aware of what you choose as inputs, that what you accept in your life is super important, and that we need to block out anything that doesn't serve us, be it from relationships, things that we consume mentally, reading, listening, etc., and social media. Okay, so I really hoped you liked this video, and if you're still watching, please don't hesitate to subscribe on the button, click it, and that's good for me as well, because then I know, okay, cool, people like this content and I can try to give a little bit more of that, and it's all free, baby. Let's go. See you next time.